What's up, everyone? 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video, and it's been a minute since we've recorded. I'm super excited to get back. Been busy with some work, but we're back at it now. Hoping to record 2 to 3 episodes this weekend, get the show back on the road, get regularly posting for you guys, and get you out some content you can enjoy. So, today we're going to be talking about investing in cards on a budget. It's going to be episode 2, and it's titled What to Buy First. So that's kind of what we're going to work through right now. So before we get into that though, I thought you guys might appreciate a little update on what I've been up to in the hobby recently. So as you know, I haven't given you many updates. Let me move my microphone here. But most of what's happened that I've been up to is I'm still trying to get a little selling in to pay for that Crosby RPA just a little bit. But there's not anything I really care to move a ton. Thought about moving in honorable numbers from 2006. Not getting a ton of traction. I personally don't want to move it that much, but we had some help. The help came in. We got the infantry, and that was a small PSA sub. So what did it have? Had a Luka Silver Emergent PSA 10. Sadly, had some glue in the case, out for a reslab, but we got this light blue Prism Juju rookie out of 199, an orange, it was out of 275, also a 9, a Tatum Select PSA 10, that helped the cause, and a Tatum Select PSA 9. Those are all gone, the Juju, and the 2 Tatums, so those helped. But yeah, and then we also bought this Father's Day Prism, 2012 Prism Sidney Crosby. So maybe more on that in another video. I'm going to talk Crosby here probably this weekend, but anyways, that's where we're at. This is pretty rare, actually. There are not that many of them made. Look into that if you're interested. 2012 Prism Hockey is really weird. But anyways, to the topic. Investing in cards on a budget. And if you're on a budget, every penny matters. So, in reality, everyone should care, right? About getting the best deal that they can. But if you're on a budget, you really need to care. And that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today in this What to Buy First video. So, we'll get into the big principles. If you don't mind dropping a like, dropping a sub, you're excited about this video, you're liking it so far, you like my channel, I really appreciate it. It helps me get moving, and especially as I get back into the swing of things. So, big principle number 1 for you guys, buy stuff that's not being hyped or is post-hype, okay? So, now's not a good time to be, maybe at least during the playoffs, was not a good time to make your Trey investments. During the finals, not a good time to make your Devin Booker investments. However, now might be a great time. I mean, now obviously, there was just that Russell Westbrook trade, so that kind of negates the AD, but now's not a bad time to make a Luka play. Luka's not hyped, aside from that one thing in the Olympics, but I don't think that matters that much. When players are not being hyped is the time to act, okay? And you might say, well, maybe Luka is still a little too speculative for me right now, okay? Even though he's not being hyped, still feels a little speculative. Might be better said that now's not a good time to buy Babe Ruth. His stuff, even though he's retired for so many years, the GOAT of baseball, he's being hyped. So many of his old cards have come out of the woodwork. Prices blew up. We saw it a couple months ago with Jackie Robinson. His stuff got hyped. I mean, vintage baseball got hyped. Crazy to say. But it puts stuff up to valuations that aren't really fair, that aren't really sustainable. Too many eyes on it. Too much hype, too much, influencer content about it. That's not when you want to be buying, okay? It's not the time to buy. So you want to look for value in the periods of overselling. It's kind of the opposite of this. A guy falls out of hype. Say Trae Young, for example. I think he is a great example of this, of what I'm going to call the Mahomes effect. So, Mahomes won the Super Bowl in 2020, and his base PSA 10 fell. Crazy. He just won his first Super Bowl. His card values dropped. It's because it was oversold. So many people were waiting for that one moment that when it came, they all said, okay, this is our exit opportunity. This is where we're going to get out. And it created this flood on the market, and we all know supply and demand, right? And the supply just pushed so hard that even with the demand ticking up because of that first Super Bowl, supply outweighed it, prices fell. So it can provide great opportunity for you as the buyer. So first we'll talk about Trae Young. Trae Young is someone who I feel like we're sitting around watching him in the playoffs. He proved something to us. He proved that he could lead a team to the conference finals. That was a big deal. That was a really big deal for him. Luka hasn't done that. And yet, we watched his card prices. They're kind of getting beat down. His prices are pretty low right now. But maybe that means it's time for you to be buying. Just because he's not hyped. What you saw told you he's better than I thought he was. And he has proved that he has playoff potential. And I didn't know that before. So his baseline value, kind of like how Mahomes boosted his baseline by winning a championship, Trae Young, you said, okay, he can perform in the playoffs. And I didn't know that before, and now I've seen it, and he's proved it. I'm willing to pay a little more than I used to. And then you come to this market that's oversold on Trae Young, and the prices are lower than they used to be. You're more confident, the prices are lower. This is where you, as the budget investor, can make a killing. Now, it takes a little longer, okay, the flip time on these non-hype plays. But this is some of the best money spent in hobby investing, in my opinion. I have so much conviction in this. Same goes for Giannis. Now, his prices spiked after he won, right? But if you wait 2 to 3 months, and those prices are lower than they were, like, I don't know what. So they got down to like $1,500. Some say they got to $1,200 on his Prism PSA 10. It was like once or twice. I don't really count that. If it gets down to $1,500, a little below $1,500, and he's now won that finals and a finals MVP, and he hadn't before, and just because there's been so much selling pressure after he won a finals, that's a time to buy as the budget investor. Now, obviously, that price is a little high for the budget investor, but it illustrates the point. When the supply comes, when the market turns on a guy after he, like Trae Young, loses, that's the time to be buying if you saw something that you think raises the intrinsic value of the card. So now we're going to kind of return to how to think through specifically what should you buy. So yes, in general, you don't want to be buying the hype and you're looking for value plays. But where are you going to start? Okay. I got a couple rules of thumb. Some of them sound a little basic, but I think they're helpful. Rule number 1 is you want to buy stuff you have conviction in. You need to be able to flesh out a thesis of 1, why it's going to go up, and 2, why you're okay with the risk-adjusted return. Okay, and 3, an expected timeline. It might sound tedious, and you don't actually have to go write all this out on paper, you guys. This is just stuff you think through. Before you click that buy it now on eBay, you think, why do I think it's going to go up? I think he's going to have a better year. I think he's going to get the help he needs on his team. I think that he'll get in the spotlight a little bit more than he used to. Why the risk-adjusted return is okay. Someone like LeBron, risk-adjusted return, I think, is becoming really attractive right now because he's not going to fall a lot, okay, if he has a bad season. And, that might be a reason. You might say, well, his prices can't go down that much because he's done so much already. It makes the risk-adjusted return really very appealing. And what's my timeline? When am I planning to get out of it? This stuff helps you stay focused. It helps you knowing if your investments in cards are working for you the way you thought they would. And it helps you kind of adjust and fine-tune in the future. Another thing that might be helpful for you on the budget is buying stuff with shorter timelines. Now, I know I just said it. I think some of the best money is spent on those anti-hype buys. I do think that. But if you're more in accumulation phase and trying to build up a bankroll, and you aren't just continually buying stuff that, for a longer term, I think that those non-hype plays are the safest. I think they're the best. But if you're looking to maybe take a little bit more risk, get a little shorter, this gives you the ability to compound. I think you need to be careful. You're not chasing. You always need to be thinking about risk-adjusted return because we're talking about more risk here. So we should be expecting more return too if we're taking on more risk. And the best plays are often short-term plays, okay, that are going to maybe spit out a shorter amount of profit. Maybe an injury dip. It's not a big injury dip, but it's going to give us a little bit of a chance right before he comes back. We're going to buy. We're going to sell when he comes out. Could be small gains, but they're steady. And that's what keeps risk-adjusted return good because we have limited downside, okay? And so maybe those end of injury to right before they come back, those types of opportunities can be shorter-term flips, help you multiply that bankroll. That's maybe something to be buying. So we've talked about, we've talked about buying low hype, and we've talked about me buying at ends of injuries. So, examples of what I might do that follows this: Ronald Acuna, as he's coming back from injury, fits that. Kawhi Leonard, right as he's about to come back from injury, fits that. You could maybe even buy Kawhi if you see his prices bottom out. That's another strategy. Klay Thompson, he might already be getting a little too hyped, but same idea. So, conclusion, I hope this was helpful. I know I talked really fast through this. I think there was a lot of value in this, so maybe go back, play back some of your favorite parts, but I find the process always more helpful than just picks, something I always appreciated when I watch content. Let me know in the comments if you appreciate me doing the same for you. In future videos, I'm going to start an investing challenge where I'll spend some money, try to flip cards, see where I can get. Haven't done that yet. We're still trying to decide, what to sell for that Crosby, so we're still getting some of that squared away. But yeah, so think about some of those safer plays that you should be able to turn out reliable cash for you, help you build that bankroll. You got any ideas for videos in the series? Drop them in the comments below, and I'll catch you all next time.